Hello, welcome to another 10th House brand video. My name is Gabrielle. Happy Election Day. I hope everybody made it out to the polls. It's obviously a very critical election. In keeping with the theme of Election Day, I figured I would do a presidential candidate and examine their birth chart, and I chose Joe Biden. Joe Biden was born November 20th, 1942, which would make him a Scorpio sun, Taurus moon, Sagittarius rising. As a Sagittarius rising, and obviously your rising or ascendant sign is the face that others see, you know, when they see you, or the energy that you give off. So he comes off as direct, optimistic, confident, adventurous, with a great sense of humor. And that's honestly, when I look at him giving speeches, that's what I see. I see somebody who's very positive, someone who wants to help, someone who's very gung ho and optimistic and confident about how they can change or affect change in our country. He has a Scorpio sun in the 12th house. Now, with the sun in the 12th house, that tells me that he needs a lot of space to reflect and charge. He's a powerful person, but this is probably not easily realized. Probably took him a long time to realize it, as well as other people, because it's in the 12th house, and the 12th house represents hidden things and secrets. He's probably very compassionate and sensitive with a deep instinctual need to help others. He has a Taurus moon in the fifth house. What this tells me about him is that he's a very creative person. As you know, the fifth house is the house of creativity. He's someone who has an emotional need to express themselves. He's good with children and probably always wanted a large family. He has Mercury in Scorpio, again in the 12th house. This tells me he has an ability to tap into the collective and draw from it. So he draws inspiration from the collective. He's able to communicate and transform the collective as well. So he's able to communicate messages to a large amount of people, and he's also able to transform people by helping them. He has Venus in Scorpio, again in the 12th house. So he has a 12th house stellium. Obviously, I keep naming planets in the 12th house. That tells me that, again, he has a love for the collective of humanity. He wants to help people. He has a need to help people. He perceives the good in himself through others, which is very important. And he can't stand to see others suffer or to witness cruelty, which is, I mean, again, a good quality to have. He's honorable. He has North Node conjunct Chiron, which tells me that he uses his own pain to create healing and solutions for other people. So he uses his own experiences, his own negative experiences, to create positive for other people. He's a healer and a fixer, and this is his life's mission, to help others, to heal others using his own experiences, and to fix situations and find solutions to situations for others, which is, I mean, good qualities to have. And I actually, a few weeks ago, watched a documentary on Joe Biden, and he's a person who, I can tell this from his birth chart, but also from the documentary, he's had a lot of sad things happen to him. I believe he lost his wife, his first wife, and his daughter, in a car accident, which is very sad. And, he's just had a lot of unfortunate things, some medical things, and he uses those experiences that he's gone through to want to help other people, which is great. He has Sun conjunct Venus, which tells me he prefers to be a lover and not a fighter. Now, this doesn't mean that he won't fight, but it just means he prefers to have things be peaceful. He has a need for peace and harmony and unity, and he's someone who's very charming and likable as a person. He also has Sun square North Node, which means frequent conflict and tension between his core identity and ego and his life's mission. So, it hasn't been easy for him, basically. So his life's path is not always clear, so it may take longer to accomplish things. As we can tell, he's in his, you know, late 70s. He was born in the 40s, and he's just now getting to this very important presidential bid. Obviously, he was vice president before, but he's just a person who, it's taken him a while to figure out where exactly he's going with things. He has Sun opposite Uranus, which means he can be somewhat reactionary and rebellious. He has a need for independence, and his decisions sometimes go against his desire for stability. So, this just tells me that, he's a very independent person. He wants to make his own decisions. He's not a person that will go along with, you know, the popular consensus just because others are. He wants to figure things out for himself. He has Moon trine Chiron, which this tells me he's someone who makes the most out of his pain. Again, he takes his pain and makes positive experiences for others. Um, He's someone who nurtures others and he finds joy in taking care of others. He's also someone who, because of his pain, because of what he's gone through personally, he can empathize with others and love others unconditionally. Um, Let me see. He also has Moon Square Pluto, which tells me that there's somewhat of an emotional crisis in the home or with close family. Moon rules the public. So painful experiences in his private life have been, you know, a public source of scrutiny somewhat, like it's revealed to the public. So as we know, he lost his wife, he lost his child, he more recently lost his son. So, and this has all been out in the public for others to see and scrutinize and talk about and examine. It can also indicate displacement, a tendency to want to control those close to him. Now, he might be somewhat controlling in his familiar relationships. Um, it also indicates emotional crises. Like I said, he lost his first wife and he started in an accident. He also has Moon Square Pluto, so this tells me he's admired for his outspoken nature. He's a publicly popular figure, but it also tells me that he has changeable moods as Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and the moon indicates emotional nature and also changes. The moon changes cycles frequently, like what, every so often. So anyway, he has Mars square Pluto. This tells me he has a high drive for and ambition. He's a dominant figure. He wants to achieve a position of power in his life, so that's what he's been going after. Even if he hasn't always been clear, like I said earlier, he knows that he wants to be in power. He's high energy and he always perseveres. So no matter what he goes through, he's always going to come back out on top. He has Mercury sextile midheaven, which means he's able to feel others' feelings clearly. He's not always able to communicate what he intuitively knows in the best way, but and so for that reason he chooses his words carefully, but innately he can tell what others are feeling without it doesn't necessarily have to always be verbal. It's more of on an instinctual level, or I'm sorry, an intuitive level. He has Mercury trine Jupiter, which means he's eloquent and positive and knowledgeable. He has great business acumen. He's progressive. He's generous and always thinking about the future. So he's always thinking about like what's next, never stuck really in the past. So from all of this information that I just shared, it's clear to me that Joe Biden is a person who's meant to assist in the healing of the collective. He's a person who's definitely had their fair share of ups and downs and painful experiences, specifically relating to his close relationships, and he wants to use those experiences to transform and heal people. He has an instinctive need to heal and help others, which is, I mean, it's a good quality to have. He also has a genuine love for people, and helping others is his life purpose. I can see that from his birth chart. So that is obviously not an all-inclusive review, but a short review of a few aspects of Joe Biden's birth chart. Again, happy election day. I hope you made it out to the polls, and I'll be back with another video soon.